Okay, today we're making chocolate cake, which I already made a lot of before, and I don't need to make another cake for my family. They're probably sick of the cakes, but it's a homework assignment, so we have to do it anyway. But before we go into that, we have to make sure we do all the things we need to do first. Clean the area, I already did that. Wash my hands, I already did that. So now we just gotta get ready with all our ingredients. Okay, now that we're ready, we can start with the cake. We're gonna start with the dry ingredients. So we have a large bowl. We're gonna start with 1 3/4 cup of flour. You should get all the flour in there. And then we're gonna get 3/4 cup of cocoa powder. Make sure you don't spill it because cocoa powder goes everywhere. Especially if you like breathe on it, it's a mess. Which is already what happened a little bit on the side of my bowl. That's awesome. Then we're gonna have half a teaspoon of salt and add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And we're just going to whisk it a little bit so we get it all mixed together. Get all the lumps out. Make sure it's really combined. Okay, all the dry ingredients are now mixed together so we can add in everything else. We're gonna start with the wet ingredients. I was gonna say we need to make a little hole in the middle so things don't just spill out of everywhere. But so we're gonna start with half a cup of oil, and then half a cup of milk, 2 eggs, and then 1 egg yolk. And then we need 2 different types of sugars. It's gonna be a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and then 1 1/4 cup of just regular sugar. And then 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then when you add it all, you can just mix it all together until it's all combined. Okay, now this is all mixed together, and we're gonna add in a half cup of chocolate chips, chopped as much as you can. It's kind of hard to chop chocolate chips because they're really small, but we're gonna add those in. And then 1/4 cup of warm water. It's important that it's warm so it melts the chocolate chips. And then we're just gonna mix that until it's all combined. And the water is not gonna melt all the chocolate chips because it's not like boiling, it's just warm. But that's okay because when it's cooking, it's gonna make it like gooey and it's gonna be 10 times better. I have made a lot of chocolate cakes, which I don't need to make another one. I really don't need to make. I think me and my family need to take like a sabbatical from chocolate cakes. But this one smells really good because I don't think I've used chocolate chips before as like an extra, but you can smell it already. It makes it a lot more chocolatey, so that's exciting. And number 2, the cake part isn't going to take that long. Like, it doesn't take that long to make this. But the longest part of this is going to be the decorating. Usually for me, it's always the decorating. It's always the longest part, but it's okay. Okay, so now that the cake batter is all done, I greased some pans. I think they're 9-inch pans, and I have 2 of them, so it makes it easy because it's gonna be double layered. So I'm gonna cook them at the same time. And then I have a little extra, so I'm gonna make these little mini cupcakes. And then we're gonna put it in the oven. The oven's at 350 degrees, and we're gonna put it in there for about 25 to 30 minutes. So yeah. Okay, while the cake is baking, we can work on the buttercream. So I have 1 1/2 cups of butter that I'm just gonna put in a bowl and start creaming. And then once it's all creamed together and smooth, then we can add in the powdered sugar. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but these are cubed. Okay, now that we have been creaming the butter, we are gonna add in 2 1/2 cups of powdered sugar, but you wanna add in 1/2 cup at a time, otherwise it's gonna be a big mess, and I don't think we wanna clean that up, so. Just add it in and then mix it and then keep adding it until you're all done. The last steps to make the buttercream, we're gonna add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and then 1/2 cup of cocoa powder and some salt. It's like a pinch, really. And then we're just gonna mix it until it's all combined. I almost forgot to mention the part that's most important to the chocolate buttercream is the melted dark chocolate chips. So you're gonna take your chocolate chips and melt them in the microwave for you want to do them in increments. You don't want to just put it in for like a straight minute because you will burn your chocolate. I've never done it, but I've seen it and it's not pretty. So you do it in about 10-second increments. You take it out and then you stir it a little bit and then you put it back in until it's melted. And then once it is melted, just put it in the buttercream and then mix it. Okay, we're back next day because I took the cakes out of the oven and let them cool completely. So it was basically overnight because I was doing these late, so it wasn't really too long of a night. But anyway, so I cut them smaller because I wanted two things. I wanted to make sure I had enough buttercream for the cake and all the decorations, but also I didn't want a big cake. Like, it's not really too much smaller. This is the size that I cut out of the 9-inch pan. So yeah, I cut it down. So now I have it on my churning table, and I already layered it. It wasn't too much layering that I needed to do, so that's okay. And I took them out the pans. Let's see, I put some frosting down here. And then I think I'm gonna I have some cherries that I think would go great with it because this is just a lot of chocolate. I kind of want something like different in there, so I think some cherries will be good with it. I know like Black Forest cake have cherries in them. That's a really good cake. So we'll do that. And then I'm just going to put the other layer on top and then we can decorate it. Okay, I finally finished the cake. Took a long time. I told you, it was all the decorating. The decorating always takes the longest time, but it looks really nice. I made a peanut butter ganache to do some drips down the bottom, and I think that really helped. And then I add some sprinkles. There's one rogue sprinkle that's annoying me. Okay. And I think this looks really good. So yeah, okay. I don't know if you can tell how many dishes I have, but there's a lot of dishes. So I guess I'll have to do that. But anyway, that's it for this video. I guess I'll just eat another cake.